Bro, check your phone. I looked up from my laptop. Why? Just do it, Marcus said. I serious for once. I picked it up. Unknown number 1. Text. You sure you want to marry her? I frowned. What the hell is this? Another message. Popped in before I could even finish reading the first. Vegas, her bachelorette. She wasn't exactly loyal. I swallowed. This has to be some joke. You think someone's messing with you? Marcus asked, voice low. Obviously. Who? Sends this garbage days before the wedding. A photo came through. Blurry, dark club. A girl in a silver dress. Rachel's dress, her hair, her laugh. A guy's hand on her waist. I stared, dude. Marcus whispered, I don't even know what I'm looking at, but I did. Deep down, I did. That evening, Rachel walked in like nothing happened. Hey, babe, she said, tossing her bag on the couch. Long day. Yeah. I asked, setting my phone down. You talked to Naomi today. She froze. Yeah. We were texting. Why? I shrugged. No reason, just wondering. She smiled, but her eyes darted. You okay? You look off. I'm fine. I forced a grin. Just tired. She leaned down to kiss me. I let her, and I hated how fake it felt. The next day, Naomi came. Over to help with the seating chart. Where should I put your cousins? Next to my mom, she asked, twirling a pen. Rachel walked out of the kitchen. Babe, can you get the wine? Sure, I said. I grabbed the bottle, poured glasses, then handed one to Naomi. Her fingers brushed mine. She looked up, her eyes lingered, then darted away. She knew I knew she knew. Naomi, I said, you okay? She nodded too fast. Yeah, just wedding. Stress, you know? I sat down across from them. Rachel, remember anything from Vegas? You never told me stories? Rachel laughed. What's there to tell? Drunk girls screaming bride-to-be at every bar? Naomi can back me up, which chaos. Naomi sipped her wine. Yeah, wild times. Anyone interesting? I pressed. Any. Stories I should. No. Rachel shot me a look. Why are you asking all this? No reason, I said, pretending to look at the chart. Curious? That's all. Naomi put her glass down carefully. Should probably head out. I have a thing later. Of course, Rachel smiled. Thanks again. Naomi glanced at me once more before leaving. That look again like guilt in motion. That night, I stared at the ceiling. Was I overreacting? Was it even Rachel in that photo? Could Naomi be hiding something? My phone buzzed again. You think that's all? There's more. She wasn't just dancing, I replied. Who are you? No answer. The next day, I watched Rachel from the hallway. She was on the phone, voice hushed. No, he doesn't know. Stop freaking out, Naomi. No, I deleted everything. She turned and saw me. Hey, babe, she said quickly. Just my mom. She's panicking about the dress. I nodded slowly. You sure it was your mom? What? She laughed nervously. Who else would it be? You tell me. Her jaw clenched. Okay, what's going on with you? You tell me that too. She stared. Do you not trust me? I didn't answer. She walked past me. Unbelievable, she muttered. The next morning, Naomi sent me a message. Can we talk? Alone, I replied immediately. When and where? We met at the park. She was already sitting on a bench when I arrived, clutching a coffee cup like it held her. Secrets? I didn't want to be part of this, she said without looking up. So, you know? She nodded. I didn't think it'd go this far. Tell me, I said quietly. I begged her to stop. That night, she was drunk. Yes, but not out of control. She flirted all night. Think she left with someone? I tried to stop her. Wouldn't listen? Why didn't you tell me sooner? She's my best friend. I didn't want to be the reason things fell apart. But you don't deserve this. I sat next to her. Thank you. For being honest, Naomi looked at me, eyes full of guilt. I wanted to say something every day since we came back, but I was scared. I nodded. I'm scared too, but not of the truth anymore. That night, Rachel came home humming. Hey babe, I got the final guest list from my mom. So, by the way, Naomi said you two met earlier. I didn't answer. She walked closer. Everything okay? I think you already know it's not. She blinked. What's that supposed to mean? I stood. Vegas. The guy. The lies. Her face went pale. You said you were with friends. Said nothing happened. She stuttered. It wasn't what it looked like. I was drunk and I saw the picture. Heard you and Naomi. I know everything. She reached for me. Please, just listen. I'm done listening. Her hand dropped. You canceling the wedding? I said coldly. I'm going to let it happen, but not the way you expect. She backed away. What are you talking about? I smiled. You'll see. Here comes the almost husband. Someone joked as I walked into the restaurant. I forced a smile and gave a half wave. The room smelled like wine, perfume, and secrets. The rehearsal dinner should have felt warm. Instead, it felt staged, like a show where I didn't know my lines. Naomi saw me first. She was standing near the back, holding a glass of white wine, looking over the crowd like she didn't want to be there. Hey, I said, approaching her. Surprised you're not glued to Rachel's side? She smiled too quickly. She's mingling, right? I said, scanning the room. Classic bride stuff. Naomi took a sip and looked away. Her fingers tightened around the stem. Of the glass, you good? I asked. Yeah, she said too fast. Totally just tired. You sure? You look like someone trying to swallow a grenade. She laughed, but it cracked. That obvious. I've been watching people all day, I muttered. You're the only one who looks like they know a secret and hate knowing it. Her eyes widened for a second, just one flicker. Then she looked down. Don't do that. Do what? As things you already know the answer to. Then tell me anyway. Before she could answer, Rachel popped in. There you are, she said, sliding her arm around mine. They want us to take couple photos before dessert. Naomi's smile vanished. I looked at Rachel. You've been hard to find tonight. Just making rounds, she said. You okay? Yeah, I said flatly. Naomi and I were just catching up. Rachel glanced between us. Everything all right? Naomi nodded. Of course. Rachel leaned in and kissed my cheek. Let's smile for the camera. Smile for the camera. That's what my life had become. Later that night. I stood by the window while everyone laughed over cheesecake. Naomi came up beside me, whispering, You need to leave. I blinked. What? You shouldn't be here. Not with her. Not tonight. Then, talk, I said under my breath, 'cause I'm running out of patience. She shook her head. Not here. Why not? 'Cause if I say it out loud, it becomes real. And I don't know if I'm ready to be that person. I turned to her. Then why look at me like you want to scream? She looked away. Because I do. Rachel called from across the room. Naomi, come take a picture. Naomi straightened up and whispered, I'm sorry. Then she walked away. I left before dessert hit the table. Didn't say goodbye. Didn't wave back in my apartment. I opened Rachel's Instagram. I scrolled through the Vegas trip highlights. There was a photo of her in this silver dress, but no Naomi in any of them. Just Rachel, Rachel, and more Rachel. Tags turned off. Comments limited. I went to Naomi's page. No posts in over a month. It's unusual for her. I opened a note on my phone and started lining things up. Date of the Bachelorette. Time the video was. Taken timestamp on Rachel's post from that night. The math didn't work. Rachel posted at 11:43 p.m., but in the video was clearly after midnight, and she was still at the club. I checked Rachel's story again. The club shot was uploaded earlier than the video, but the club wasn't even open yet when she claimed they were already there. I opened my texts, clicked on the unknown number. Still think she's telling the truth. My fingers hovered over the keyboard. Who are you? Still no reply? I sat back and stared at the screen. She lied. The next morning, Rachel walked in, humming and holding 2 coffees. Thought you could use a pick-me-up? I took the cup but didn't sip. You were quiet last night. She paused. You left early. Wasn't feeling it. She sat beside me. I know things feel off, but can we not do this now? We're days away. I looked at her. When was that club photo from again? She blinked. Which one? The silver dress. You posted it at 11:43. She hesitated. Yeah, that sounds right. And you were already in the club? Yep, even though the place didn't open until midnight. Her face paled. What? I checked. That club opens at 12. You weren't inside at 11:43. She stared. Why are you looking into this? 'Cause I'm tired of feeling crazy. She stood. Are you accusing me of something? I'm not accusing, I said. I'm collecting. Collecting what? She crossed her arms. I don't know what's gotten into you. Either do I said, walking past her. But I know where it started. That evening, Naomi called. I'm ready, she said. Come by now. Yes, before I change my mind again. I grabbed my keys. I didn't know what she would say. But I knew it would matter, because Naomi's eyes didn't lie. And neither did my gut. Something real was about to come out. And once it did, nothing would ever go back to the way it was. My phone buzzed at 2:17 a.m. One new message. No name. Thought you should see this before you make the biggest mistake of your life. I sat up in bed, heart thudding. There it was. A video. I pressed play. Music, flashing lights, a crowded club, and Rachel laughing, stumbling. That silver dress I'd complimented. Her arms wrapped around some guy's neck, his hands on her hips, her lips dangerously close to his ear, and then her voice. I shouldn't, but you're so freaking hot. Paused it, my breath caught. I rewound and played it again. Her face was flushed. Her words slurred, but clear. And then there she was. Naomi just for a second behind them, her face pale, her mouth open like she wanted to scream. But she didn't. She turned and walked away. I stared at the screen, numb. That wasn't a mistake. It was a choice. I opened my messages, Naomi. We need to talk. Just us. The reply came minutes later. My place is too risky. Meet me 30 minutes. Where? Parking lot behind Elridge Library. I'll wait. It was quiet when I pulled up. Naomi was already sitting in her car. I parked beside her and got in. She didn't say anything at first, just stared through the windshield. I finally broke the silence. I saw the video. Her head turned slowly. So it's out. I looked at her. Why didn't you stop her? I tried. Her voice cracked. I begged her. She laughed at me. She was grinding on him like I didn't exist. She said you'd never find out, that it didn't matter. She said Naomi stopped, herself wiping her eyes. What else did she say? She said, marrying you was the responsible thing to do, not the exciting one. I leaned back. Wow, I wanted to tell you so many times, but she's my best friend. I didn't want to betray her. You let her betray me instead. Naomi looked away. I know, and I hate myself for it. I needed to hear it from you. Not from some stranger at 2 a.m., she nodded. I understand. You have every right to be angry. I stared at the dashboard. Not even angry. I'm just ... We sat in silence for a moment. She doesn't deserve you, Naomi. Whispered she never did. I looked at her. Why did you come tonight? Because when I saw your face at the dinner, I knew I couldn't carry it anymore. Do you still talk to her? Barely. She knows something's off. She's been spiraling. Could I muttered? Naomi turned to me. What are you going to do? I sighed. Not sure yet, but I'm not marrying her. That much is clear. She nodded. Do you want me to be there when you tell her? I shook my head. No, this one's mine. Naomi hesitated. She'll spin it, you know. Make it your fault. I'm done playing her games. Naomi swallowed hard. For what it's worth, I think you're brave. Brave. For not exploding. For thinking before reacting. I smirked bitterly. I'm not brave, just tired. I sat in my car long after Naomi left. 100. Thoughts bounced around in my head. Rage, embarrassment, grief. But beneath it all, something colder had taken root. Clarity. This wasn't going to end with a fight. It would end with silence. With facts. With the truth hitting her harder than any scream ever could. I opened my phone, watched the video again, not to torture myself, but to remember to burn the moment into my mind. The moment she lost me. You're awfully quiet, Rachel, said, adjusting her veil in the mirror, just taking it all in. I replied, buttoning my shirt. She smiled at me through the reflection. Big day. Biggest, I said, forcing the word out like a dry pill. She came up behind me, wrapped her arms around my waist. You still want this, right? I turned, kissed her forehead. More than anything, lying had never come easy to me. Until... Now at the tuck shop 2 days earlier, Marcus clapped me on the back. You sure about this? Yeah, I said, checking my reflection. I need to see it through. He lowered his voice. Even after what you found out. I nodded slowly. She'll get what's coming. I just need to time it right. You scare me when you talk like that, he muttered. Don't be scared, I said. Be ready. The rehearsal was surreal. Rachel smiled like nothing had happened. Naomi avoided eye contact with both of us. She sat on the far end of the table during dinner, answering Rachel's questions with one-word replies. You okay? Rachel asked her. Just tired, Naomi muttered, eyes locked on her untouched wine. Rachel leaned toward me. She's been acting weird. She's probably nervous, I replied. About what? I looked at her and smiled. The truth. The night before the wedding, I sat alone in the dark, writing vows I'd never read. Rachel, from the moment I met you lies. You've made me a better man. No, you made me a fool. I promise to love you forever. I won't even love you tomorrow. I tore the paper in half and tossed it in the trash. Then I picked up my phone and texted Naomi. Tomorrow, be ready. It's time, she replied minutes later. Are you sure? I've never been more sure of anything. The sun rose on what was supposed to be the best day of my life. The guests filled the rows. Rachel was upstairs getting final touches done. I stood at the altar. Tie knotted, mask on. The music started. Everyone turned their heads. Rachel appeared in the doorway, glowing, beaming. Dressed in white like she was innocent, she walked down the aisle like nothing had ever touched her but loved. Naomi stood at her side, bouquet in hand, stiff as stone. Rachel reached me. I didn't offer my hand. She whispered, "What's wrong?" I took the mic from the officiant's hand. Before we start, I said, voice steady, I want to say a few words. Rachel blinked. It wasn't in the plan, I know. Everyone quieted. I scanned the crowd, her parents, my parents, our friends. I want to thank everyone for being here, I said, cruelly. Rachel shifted beside me. What are you doing? I looked at her. I was going to marry you, Rachel. I was going to give you everything. My loyalty, my future, my whole damn heart. People stirred. Whispers spread. But a few nights ago, I got a message. An anonymous number, then a video. Rachel's face drained. I saw you, I said. In Vegas, with him, laughing, kissing. Her mother gasped. You told me it was just partying with friends. You lied. I was drunk, Rachel stammered. I turned back to the guests. She cheated. And then she came back and planned this wedding like nothing happened. Please stop, Rachel begged. Not here. I tried to forgive you. I tried to believe there was a reason. But there isn't one that makes it okay. Naomi stood, frozen, eyes wide, hands trembling. I won't marry a lie, I said into the mic, and I won't pretend this is love. Rachel reached out. Please, just talk to me. I stepped back. Then I walked off the altar, past stunned faces. Down the aisle I was never meant to walk with her. Outside, the air hit my chest like freedom. Marcus stood near the door, jaw slack. You actually did it. I kept walking. Alone, I sat in the front seat of my car, hands on the wheel. Watching the chaos unfold through the windshield, my phone buzzed. Naomi, I didn't know you were going to say all of that. I typed back, I didn't know either, until I opened my mouth, she replied. You were brave. I didn't feel brave. I felt clean. My phone didn't stop for 3 days. Hey, it's Mom. Call me, please, dude. What the hell happened at the wedding? Are you okay? I heard something crazy. I turned it off. I didn't answer the door, didn't respond to texts, didn't. Opened social media. The only thing I opened was a box of frozen waffles and ate them on the floor. That was day 2. Rachel left 21 voicemails. The first few were soft. Please, let's talk. I need to explain. Then desperate, stop ghosting me. You humiliated me. You don't even know what really happened. Then angry? You think you're some kind of hero. You blindsided me at our wedding. Then quiet again. I miss you. I didn't respond. Naomi's message came quietly. Are you okay? I stared at it for hours before replying. Not yet. She didn't push, didn't ask more. Just left it there. I ended the lease the following week. Packed only what I needed, my clothes, books, laptop, and my guitar. Left the rest, let her have it. Marcus offered his spare room. I declined. I just need to be nowhere right now, I told him. He nodded. You're sure you don't want company? Company means talking. I don't have words left. Stayed at a cheap extended stay out by the highway, no one knew where. That was the point. I didn't shave, didn't answer calls, didn't scroll. I just breathed, ate, slept, repeated. On the 9th day. There was a knock. I didn't move. Another knock. Then softly, it's me, Naomi. I opened the door. She held a brown paper bag and a container of soup. I brought food, she said. I stepped aside. She walked in, quiet as always. Like she'd done this before? You didn't have to come, I muttered, sitting at the small table I wanted to. You're not scared, I'll snap. She unpacked the food. I've seen you angry. This isn't that. It's this worse. I know. We ate in silence for a while. Then she spoke. I'm sorry too. I looked up. For? What? For not stopping her harder? For keeping quiet when I should have warned you. You were loyal to her. Too loyal, she said. I knew she didn't deserve you. I just didn't want to believe it. Didn't want to believe it either. She sipped her tea. Do you hate her? I thought for a moment. No, I hate what she did. But hate takes too much energy. Naomi nodded. That's honest. She killed something in me, I whispered. But maybe it needed to die. Like what? The version of me that trusted blindly. Later, she stood at the door. You want me to go? I shrugged. I don't know what I want. She hesitated. Then I'll stay. She sat back down, pulled out a deck of cards from her purse. You carry cards. They help, she said. When words don't, we played. In silence, halfway through the 3rd round, I said, thanks. For what? For seeing me and not asking me to be okay. She looked at me, warm but tired. You don't have to be okay. You just have to be real. That night after she left, I lay on the bed and stared at the ceiling. I didn't feel betrayed. I felt something else, something quieter, something like being seen for the first time in a long time. Naomi placed 2 takeout containers on the coffee table. Tie, okay? Perfect, I said, sinking into the couch. She passed me a fork. You look better. Cleaner shirt, less zombie. I upgraded from Waffle Life. I smirked. She smiled. Proud of you. We ate in silence for a minute. No background music. No distractions. Just us. Then she said it. I need to tell you something. I paused mid-bite. Okay. She exhaled. Rachel, she's always been like that. Like what? Selfish, impulsive, careless with people. Why didn't you tell me before? I tried. In ways, but every time you'd look at her like she was the sun. I couldn't be the cloud. Swallowed. How long have you known that she'd cheat? I didn't know for sure, but I suspected. She flirted with everything that moved, lied about little things, laughed at you behind your back sometimes, said you were too good to be interesting. My chest tightened. She said that. Naomi nodded. She didn't deserve you. I knew it. But I stayed loyal. Why? Because we grew up together. Because she cried when her ex left her. Because I thought loyalty meant silence. I stared at the takeout box in my lap. I get it. You do. I was loyal too. Even when she started pulling away. Even when things didn't feel right. You thought love meant sticking around. Exactly. She looked at me. We were both wrong. Later, we sat with mugs of tea. She tucked her legs beneath her. On the couch, I always saw something in you. She said softly. I blinked. What? I mean it. Even back when you and Rachel started dating, I noticed how you listened, how you actually cared. I used to think if I'd met you first, I looked over. Then what? Maybe I would have fought harder. I leaned back. Why didn't you? You were taken, she said. I'm not a thief. I wouldn't have seen it back then anyway, I admitted. Naomi tilted her head. Do you see it now? I don't know what I see, I whispered, but I feel ... safe with you. She smiled gently. You don't need to rush into anything. I don't plan to. Good, she said, 'cause this sus whatever it becomes. It should start with healing, not replacement. I looked into her eyes. You always talked like you've lived? 10 lives. She chuckled. Just one. A messy one. Reached over and tapped her mug. To messy lives. To rebuilding, she added. She didn't stay the night, but when she left, she hugged me longer than usual. Not romantic, not dramatic, just honest. And in that small space between us where hurt used to live, something warm, settled. Not love, not yet, but something better than pain. The knock came fast and loud, like she wanted me to flinch. I opened the door. Rachel stood there, eyes swollen, makeup smeared, holding a phone in one hand and a crumpled tissue in the other. I just want to talk, she said, voice shaking. Naomi glanced up from the kitchen, behind me, but stayed silent. I stepped aside without a word. Rachel stepped in like she owned the place. She didn't even notice Naomi at first. I've been calling. I've sent texts, emails. I even talked to your mom. Yeah, I said, shutting the door. I heard. She turned to face me. I know I messed up. I was drunk. I mean for any of it to happen. You meant every second of it, I said calmly. The camera doesn't lie. She choked a little. It was just a moment. I wasn't thinking clearly, but you were thinking enough to hide it. To smile in my face and plan a wedding. Rachel looked past me and spotted Naomi. Her whole posture shifted. Oh, of course. I should have known. Naomi didn't flinch. She just went back to rinsing her mug. So this is what it is now. Rachel snapped. You leave me at the altar and run into her arms? I didn't run anywhere, I said. I walked away from a lie. Rachel's eyes filled again. You embarrassed me in front of everyone. My parents were humiliated. Gave a small, cold laugh. And you think you were the victim? She stepped forward. You blindsided me. You didn't even give me a chance to explain. I saw the video, I replied. What else did I need? I said I was drunk. I crossed my arms. Being drunk doesn't erase intent. Naomi stood quietly in the kitchen, her eyes low. Her presence like a wall Rachel couldn't climb. I made one mistake, Rachel whispered, and you threw everything away. I stared at her. You didn't make one mistake, Rachel. You made choices. Then you kept making them after. The lying, the pretending, the gaslighting. I loved you. No, I said. You loved the way I loved you. Rachel's jaw clenched. So what? Naomi gets to be the saint now. Naomi finally looked up. I never wanted to be anything to you but a friend. You made that impossible. Rachel shook her head. It's unbelievable. I come here to apologize, and this turns into a roast. No, I said. This isn't about making you feel bad. This is about ending it. She blinked rapidly. So that's it? I nodded. You don't live here? You don't call, you don't text, you don't come back. She stood there, breathing hard, hands clenched. You're not even angry, she whispered. How are you not angry? I was, I said. Now I'm done. Rachel turned to Naomi. Good luck. I'll never trust you either. Naomi didn't respond. Rachel laughed bitterly, walked to the door and yanked it open. Hope it was worth it. She muttered and then she slammed it behind. The silence afterward was loud. Naomi set the mug on the counter gently. You, okay? I nodded. Yeah, for the first time, I think I am. I didn't expect her to show up here. Neither did I. She moved closer. You handled that better than I would have. I looked at her. You didn't flinch. I wanted to, she admitted. But you looked calm. I followed your lead. I exhaled deeply. I thought I'd feel rage, or guilt, or something. What? Do you feel relief? She smiled. Good. I walked over to the window and watched Rachel's car speed off down the street. Naomi joined me. Think she come back? No, I said. Not after today. I hoped I was right. You like it here? Naomi asked, peering around my new apartment. It smells like paint and bad decisions, I said. So yeah, it's perfect. She laughed. Well, at least it's yours. First place I've ever lived alone, I admitted. Kind of terrifying. Naomi dropped her bag on the counter. That's the good kind of fear, says the woman who labeled all her moving boxes with emojis. She smirked. Don't knock the system. That smiley face box. That's your mugs. I opened it. Well, then it's my favorite one. Over the next few days, Naomi kept showing up. With things I forgot I needed, dish towels, light bulbs, coffee filters. This place was tragic, she said, unpacking kitchen tools. No sponge, no pan, no hope. I was going for minimalist despair. Mission accomplished. Talk about Rachel. Not once. Instead, we talked about music, books, the worst movies we loved, childhood injuries and secret junk food obsessions. I started laughing again, not the forced kind, the kind that snuck up on me one Sunday. We wandered through a quiet park. She tossed popcorn to ducks. Ever think about how ridiculous they are? She asked. Ducks? Yeah, they waddle like cartoons and scream for bread. The Rachel of birds, Naomi snorted. Hey, too soon. Too real. I said. She nudged my arm. Let her go. I'm trying, I replied. You help? Some nights she stayed late, curled on my couch under a blanket. Sometimes we watched movies. Other times we just sat in silence. There was never pressure, no expectations, just presence. You still play? She asked one night, pointing to the guitar in the corner. I shook my head. Haven't touched it since everything blew up. Play something, she whispered. I hesitated, then picked it up and strummed a few quiet chords. She closed her eyes. That sounds like breathing. It used to be, I said. Then keep going. So I did. She helped me pick out a new desk, set up shelves, sort through mail. Nothing big. Just enough to feel human again. You don't owe me anything, I told her once. She tilted her head. Who said I was here for payback? Just don't want you fixing me. I'm not, she said. I'm walking beside you while you rebuild. One night, while we cleaned up after dinner, she reached over and took my hand. Her fingers were warm, steady. You're not broken, she said softly. You're just free now. I didn't say anything, but I smiled, really smiled, the kind that didn't ache. Later, as I lay in bed alone, thought about those words, not broken, just free. I'd forgotten what that felt like. I slept better that night than I had in months. And when I woke up, the world felt ... lighter. You sure you want to post it? Naomi asked, her thumb hovering over my phone. Yeah, I said. Ready. She looked at the photo one more time, us by the lake, her head resting on my shoulder, our fingers intertwined. What's the caption again? She asked. I took a breath, The right person shows up after the wrong one leaves. She stared at me. That's gonna cause waves. I smiled. Let them come. 10 minutes after it went live, the first comment came in. This hit harder than I expected. Then, another cried reading this. I needed the reminder. I watched the likes roll in. 100, 500. Over 1,000. Naomi walked behind me. You didn't tag me. I didn't need to. They know. She sat beside me. You think she's seen it yet? Rachel, probably. Her friends still stalked my page. Naomi raised an eyebrow. Still, they never really left. Just stopped liking things. She sipped her tea. You're not worried she'll reach out again? I shook my head. She won't. Not after this. 2 hours later, I got the notification. Rachel has blocked you. I showed Naomi. Guess that. Answers it. She smirked. Took her long enough. Set the phone down. Feels like closure. Does it? She asked. Yeah, I nodded. Not because she's gone, but because I'm not looking over my shoulder anymore. Naomi leaned into me. That's growth. That night, Naomi's phone buzzed with a message. She glanced at it and sighed. Problem. I asked. She turned the screen toward me. Wow, so you just slid in and took her place. Can't believe you betrayed your best friend like that. Snake behavior. I clenched my jaw. Her friends, most of them, Naomi said. Guess I'm the villain now. You want me to say something? No, she replied. They wouldn't hear it anyway. I sat beside her. You okay? She nodded slowly. I knew this would come. I just didn't think it'd feel like this. Like what? Like I'm being punished for being happy. They don't know the whole story. They don't care. We sat in silence. Then she said, You still proud of that post? I am. I said, Are you? She looked up at me. Yeah, she whispered, because it's real. The next morning, a message caught me off guard. From an old coworker, Dude, your post. That's the kind of stuff movies are made from. I replied with a thumbs dash up. Naomi saw me smiling. More viral fame, I guess so. She tossed me a piece of toast. Better not let it go to your head. I caught it too late. Already planning my book tour. She rolled her eyes. You're impossible? I laughed. You're still here, she grinned. Unfortunately. Later that week, we walked through the farmer's market. A woman stopped us near a fruit stand. Sorry, she said. Are you the couple from that lake photo? Naomi blinked. Yeah. The woman smiled. That post meant a lot. I just got out of something awful. It gave me hope. Naomi touched her arm. You'll be okay. Just take it slow. We walked away, I whispered. You're really good at that. At what? Giving people hope. She shrugged. Maybe because I needed some myself not long ago. That evening, Naomi scrolled through her comments, deleting the worst ones. You don't have to do that, I said. I know, she replied, but I don't want to leave space for bitterness. Do you regret anything? I asked. She looked at me carefully. No, not even how fast we got here. We didn't rush, she said. We healed together. That's different. Reached for her hand. It doesn't feel fast to me either. She smiled. It feels right. As the sun dipped below the skyline, I stared at our photo again. It wasn't just a post. It was a declaration, not of revenge, not of replacement, but of truth. We didn't plan this. It just happened, and it was real. Ready? Marcus asked, straightening my collar. I nodded. Yeah, I'm actually ... He laughed. First time I've heard a groom say that. This time's different. He grinned. No mic drop planned. No speeches, I said. Just vows. The backyard was simple white chairs. Fairy lights strung through trees. A small arch with soft flowers. Naomi picked herself ... No drama. No stage, no audience waiting to gasp. Just people who knew. People who stayed. Does this tie look okay? I asked Naomi's mom as she pinned a flower to my jacket. You look perfect, she said. Naomi's lucky. I'm the lucky one. She squeezed my hand. You've already made her better. The music started. I turned and there she was, Naomi, not in a gown made to impress, but in one that fit her like a second skin. No veil, no performance. Just her. She smiled as she walked. I didn't think about Rachel. Not once, my hands didn't. Shake. My mind didn't race. I just breathed. You look beautiful, I whispered when she reached me. I feel real, she said back. The officiant welcomed everyone, said a few kind words, then nodded at me. Your vows. I took Naomi's hands. I won't promise perfection. I've seen what pretending gets us. I just promise to be honest, to try, to hold your hand when things are hard, Dan, when they're easy. You showed up when everything was falling apart. Now I get to show up for you every day. Naomi wiped a tear. You jerk. Kai told you not to make me cry first. Everyone laughed. Then she spoke. I don't know what I expected when I walked into your life, but I didn't expect to find peace. You never tried to save me. You just stood beside me. So now I promise to do the same. No masks, no running. Just ... us. You may kiss the bride. I leaned in, and this time it wasn't to prove anything. Our lips met. It was quiet, but full, at the small reception. People danced on the lawn under string lights. Marcus clinked his glass. All right, I've known this man since he wore jeans to church. Sit down, I yelled. Laughing. Naomi leaned over. Want to sneak away for a bit? Yes, please. We walked down to the lake nearby. It's just the two of us. Same place from the photo. She kicked off her shoes. This feels like closure. No, I said, this feels like a beginning. She looked at me. You're not scared anymore? Nope. She reached for my hand. And what do you feel now? Peace, I whispered. She nodded. Me too. We sat on the dock as the sun dipped low. No weight on my chest. No ghosts. Just her. Just us. Earned. Honest at ours. Do you ever think about her? Naomi asked as we packed for a weekend trip. Sometimes, I admitted, folding my hoodie. Not in a bitter way. Just ... like a chapter I finished. She nodded. Ah, I get that. I zipped the bag. You? Don't mind when people bring her up. No, she's part of your story, not the end of it. People still asked at parties. Family dinners, random messages online. So whatever happened with Rachel, I always gave the same answer. I trusted the wrong person, then found the right one. Simple. True? That usually ended the conversation. I hadn't spoken to Rachel since the day she slammed my door. She unfollowed me, blocked Naomi, deleted our wedding photos. It was like she erased me. And honestly, I was fine with that. Some stories don't need sequels. Should we post the Iceland photos? Naomi asked one night, scrolling through her phone. I looked at the screen, us in front of waterfalls. Wrapped in scarves, laughing. I kind of like keeping some stuff just for us. She smiled. Same. We had hundreds of pictures no one had seen. Moments that weren't curages lived. Our apartment was small, but full of little memories. Naomi's mug collection lined the kitchen. Shelf. My guitar leaned near the couch. Fridge magnets from places we'd been. Portugal, Japan, the bookstore in Vermont. I love that we built this. She said one night, curling up beside me. So do I. It's quiet, she whispered. That's what healing sounds like. Occasionally, someone would tag me in an old photo, me and Rachel at some event. Smiling like we had forever ahead. I'd delete the tag. Not out of spite, but because that guy wasn't me anymore, and that version of forever wasn't either. Do you think she regrets it? Naomi asked one morning, sipping her coffee. I think she regrets being caught. Naomi raised an eyebrow. Fair? I leaned back. I don't wish her pain. I just hope she'll learn something. You're nicer than I'd be. It's not about being nice, I said. It's about being free. One night, we walked home under soft rain. No umbrellas, just the sound of our shoes on wet pavement. Naomi looked at me. What would you say if she ever reached out? I wouldn't answer. Not even to say you've moved on. I shook my head. She doesn't need to hear it. She'll feel it. Naomi took my hand. Closure isn't always loud. No, I said, squeezing gently. Sometimes it's just silence that doesn't ache anymore. And that was it. No final showdown, no dramatic call. No, you were right. It's just life. Moving forward, with the right person beside me.